Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. We're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and we're on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a follow-up of a few things. So the other day we made these edge cluster, I don't know what you call them. What will I call them? Like an edge cluster. And we sewed this one on because the journal was already made. We did both sides of the signature. And then because I don't already have the cottage shabby chic one made, I went ahead and just did a page. Where is it at? And then I sewed it on. So this will go in the signature. And so I just used a bunch of different papers you can see peeking out through here. And I used some different fabrics and lace and different things. So, yeah, that was super fun. So you can use the stuff in your pickle jar too if you have anything left in your pickle jar. And you could also, if you wanted to kind of distress it, I think you could still do that. Let's see how that would look. I have a few papers poking out. Or you could do the papers, you know, before you attach them. This seems to be working just fine, though. Doing a little bit. Yeah, that's really pretty. So this one was super fun, just like the other one was. I just have more of this kind of fabric and lace and embellishments, you know, than I do the groovy. It's kind of hard to come by authentic grooviness, you know, with your fabrics and stuff. But I do have a pretty large supply. Problem with mine, well, I have a large supply of vintage. I can't say groovy, that all of mine are groovy. Some of them are, you know, more of like the 40s and things like that. So, okay, yeah, I think that's going to look really good. Put a little edge on those. So, there's the rose one. Turned out really cute. And then another so I'm going to set that over here. Love the crunch. That's coffee dyed. Then we made we made one on camera and then I finished this one. But basically, if you remember, we took an old file and I cut it. I did go ahead and glue some paper on the back. And then we just did a little slow stitch, kind of a crude slow stitch, not a lot of lines or anything. And then I just sewed a couple of different layers. What I went ahead and did was I just took my tiny attacher here and I just stapled in some goodies so you could tear it out and put it in your journal, or you could use it like a little tablet if you wanted to. So just a few little things here. They're, for the most part, everything in here is vintage. I'm just going to give it a little color. A little color there. And then on this one, I edged it in pink as well as the vintage photo. And I added a little cutoff from a table runner or doily or something at the top. So this is the one I finished off camera. You saw me lay it out, I think, though. But I did decide to put a little piece of fabric. And then I covered it just with some lace. I think that's like a hem type of lace or something, and then I just ran a running stitch around it. I did most of it in this gold color here, but for this little piece of Kathy Holden, I did it in the dark. I did this in dark. This is just a piece of paper or a piece of fabric, and I stamped the word home on it, and then I attached it so it'd be a little tab here. And then I outlined this one also, this tab in dark brown. Did the kind of the same thing here, added, you know, just some vintage paper scraps. Like, isn't that fun? Just a little teeny paper scrap. And Well, I guess not all of it's vintage. That's just coffee dyed. And then just attached a piece of paper for writing on the back. And one of the reasons I did that is I wanted to have an extra journaling space. You could journal on this though, but one reason I did is I wanted to kind of go over that little tiny staple there. So, all right, so there's that. So those two are done. Those are going to go in my cottage shabby chic journal once it gets done, and I just keep collecting and making for that. I haven't put it together. Excuse me. But what I wanted to do today is just kind of play with beeswax. And so I finally ordered some beeswax off of Amazon. I have not used it yet. When I did this before, I just shaved some candle. And that's what this is here. This is just from the Dollar Tree. It is scented wax melts. This is vanilla. It's very strong, and it doesn't smell vanilla like when you bake a cake. It's a very sweet vanilla. And I don't use a lot of candles because I have kind of a sensitivity to different smells, and particularly like candles or air fresheners or things that have more of not an all natural smell. It's kind of a fake smell to it. The chemicals really bother my senses, so I don't burn a lot of candles. But flip side, I did shave a little bit off of these melts just so that I could have a little bit of fragrance to my papers. So I'm going to close that up if I can. A little tighter so I don't have to smell it. It's an okay smell, and probably most people would think it was okay, but I'm just very, very sensitive to smell. Remember I told you that I'm, oh, I haven't even opened it yet. What is happening? Let me see. Do I need to cut it? I told you I'm very delicate. So, oh, I was hoping that it had like a self-seal or something in there. It doesn't, so it's a good thing I have this. All right. So what I have done is I have a few scraps here. I've taken my bran flakes and I have stapled 2 cereal boxes together to give a nice workstation here. Then I took some Amazon packing paper, and I'm just using that as my backdrop. And I do have another large paper that I might use as well. So I have this ledger from a very large ledger that I used for something. I used part of it for something and didn't use the rest of it. So I have that. So I might go ahead and put that down as well. And then I have, what else do I have? So I'm not an ace at this. Everything is trial and error. I have a bunch of papers. I have book pages, vintage book pages. I have digitals. I want to see what happens if I do a digital with something that doesn't have anything on the back. And then I have magazine pages, which I've done in the past, and I love the way they turn out. The thing about it is typically you won't be able to identify too much after you do it. And then I have another ledger and book page. So yeah, so I just thought I would get started. So another thing is I broke out full sheets of paper towels because if it gets on my iron, I want to be able to take care of it quickly. And I kind of have a feeling it's going to get on my iron because I did bring some parchment to put the wax down and then put this over an iron. But if I get really crazy with it and just go iron on wax, I want to be able to wipe it off of my iron. I don't know if I'll be brave enough to do that. All right, so let's just see how it goes. So I have these little pellets. Again, before what I did was I just used shaving. So I'm going to just do a few pellets, and I'm just going to put a little bit of this wax, which is very soft. It's that melting, for you to put in your little melting pots. Super soft. It feels like it feels like butter that won't come off of your skin, you know. So anyway, so let's see what happens. So we're going to put this down. I've got my little iron that's ancient iron. I'm hoping it works because, well, I could go get my other iron to do, which I might. Because the thing I don't like about, ooh, that's going good. Look at that. Just, wow. It's really, the thing I don't like about this iron is that this cord comes out the side, which seems odd to me. I still feel, the reason I'm continuing to go over it is I still feel some crunchy. Like maybe there's some that aren't quite done yet. Okay, that feels done. Okay. Almost all the way. Let's get this up here. And you can kind of smush it over. Get it over. Oh, look, it came out. That. Let's see if we can put a couple of little squigs of this here. See if that'll get that corner. Yeah. I think it's because this has an oil in it, which is causing it to spread quickly. All right. Now, the one thing that I did not plan for is where to put them to dry. I thought I had everything under control here. Okay, I'm going to put it on pause and clear off a little spot. I'll be right back. Okay, I found a little spot behind me, and then I pulled out the two drawers next to me on the desk. And I already had them pulled out, but I had other stuff on them for this project, like this iron. So I'll just set the iron next to me here. Okay. So I'll be using those to put other things on. Okay, so the book page, I put it back here. It's already dried up. I mean, it's not, it's just, well, this is a little bit, that's a little thick. Let's go over that a little bit more here. I just really want it to be more transparent than anything. Ooh. Sticky. Okay. I'll set that back for a second. Let it dry. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. We'll look at them here again in a second. And this is turning out cool. All right. Here's a scrap that we used in that previous project. Let's grab some of this. Isn't it funny? You feel like you, at some point, you feel like you have a big workspace, and then you're like, nope, I need more workspace and probably an assistant. Okay, and I'm just going to use a little bit of this. I'm just using this really just for a little bit of fragrance. I think it's fun when you can smell it in a journal, but I'm wondering if it also is helping with, oopsie, put the wrong side down. I'm wondering if it's helping with the oil to blend, to kind of blend. We'll do one with just the beads, beeswax beads here in a second. And this is just to have something else, you know, to just a different type of texture, different kind of condition on stuff, you know, paper and stuff. I wonder if you could even tear it and use it as, you know, in collage or something, in a kind of, you know, like a little collage that you would put on a tag or pocket or something. Oh, I'm serious about ready to get that other iron. Okay. I think. Let's put a little bit more here on this corner. That's kind of seems to be a thing with me, is that I miss this corner. Maybe one down here on this corner. This beeswax, you could probably find it at a, I bet you could find it like Hobby Lobby and stuff. It's probably what they use for, I don't know, other, making candles, probably. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty cool. I'll set that back here to do whatever it does. Okay. Paper even underneath is looking pretty neat. All right. How about this little guy here? Let's just do the beeswax on this one. See what happens. Put some in this corner. I bet you could even use crayons. Keep flipping it over. Yeah. This iron is going to have wax on it in no time. So I'm just setting it on to melt those little beads, until I can then, till they get a little flatter. They're kind of dimensional to begin with. So just flatten them a little bit. So we're into daylight savings. I don't know if your state does daylight savings or not. But we did the spring forward, and so it looks like it's 3 in the afternoon, and it's really like 7 o'clock. I don't even know how that works, because we only spring forward 1 hour, but for some reason it looks like it's, noon or something. Your mind can play such funny games, can't it? So yeah, we haven't even had dinner. This is very late for us to not have dinner. Have to just get used to it. Getting up, It's weird, but we're so thankful for the, extra sunlight. Or I don't know. I don't know that we have extra sunlight. I mean, we get up so early in the morning, and I don't even know how it all works. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we'll set that over here. It won't take long, but I want to get some of these done, and then we will look at them all. How about, what did we do? We did a rose. That's pretty. How about this one? Let's try this. And I think I am going to put a few of these guys on. All right. It's fun. I mean, we're calling it crafting and art and everything, but really it's just extra, extra fun. Now I'm going to try to move that stuff around a little bit. I really, really need to get a good craft iron. This is a really, really much older one. Maybe they even still sell them. I don't know. But, and I think I mentioned to you a long time ago when I used it for something else. Woo, I got a lot on there. Look at that. I think I actually gave this to my mom at one time, and then she gave it back when she wasn't using it anymore. Like, she's like, oh, I don't really have a need for it anymore. And at that point, I was like, oh, I have a need for it. So we swapped it out. So this one, I think I put too much, so I'm kind of spreading it out and letting it get on that sheet underneath. Yikes. Okay, this might be where I need my paper towel. I saw a little bit get on that. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. I got it good enough. That's a little chunky. Let's put one under to blot, kind of. Get a little bit of it off. Like that, maybe. Oh, gosh. Doggone it, I used the wrong side. Did I? No? Just feels like it. Have I used both sides and that's the... Nope. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to clean this up. I can feel it already. I think I've used both sides. Yeah, look at it sopping it up. Wonder if we even be able to do another one with all of that. Just had too much. Yeah. Wow. Look at all of that. Okay. It's so pretty though. I don't know if you can see it, but you can just about see through it. Okay. I'm having to start on a new section of where to lay these. This one, I've got to put another one over. It has so much right here. Let's see what paper. Do I have another? I have this one. Let's try this. Wow, look at all that. I have made a slight mess here. So let's try to sop some of this up. Move that down a little bit. Make sure it's not going on my desk. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. It's like the bumbling crafter. Yeah, look at all that. Wow, I just overdid it. Just got so excited about it. Wowza. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna get this one off of here. See what happens after it dries. I don't know. It's beautiful though. And this one's doing pretty good. Yikes. The one that has the oil, the one I got from the Dollar Tree that I shaved, it's very sticky, oily sticky. And I think that's what's causing all this running. Smells good though. I just wanted to use a little bit to make it subtle because like I said, I just cannot take the fragrances. Okay. All right, so let's do take this off and do some magazine. That's cool. It looks like old-fashioned parchment paper. Okay. Oh boy. That looks great. I'm going to give this just a little bit more of a ironing here. Whoops. Okay, I'm trying to pick up that there. Okay. There's some wax on my page underneath. I thought, well, maybe we can pick some of that up. Looks like it is. Scissors. I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to check on the irons, these little craft irons, because that one is really annoying. Really, really annoying. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see that, but there's a lot of wax right there. Picked it up from here. Good. But I'm going to put it down and see if I have a smaller page. Let's do this one. And see if we can blot some of that up. And maybe blot that up too. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bunch here too. It's thick. So I guess the moral of that story is to, you know, go light, and then you can always add more, kind of like we did at the beginning. And then I got like super crazy with it. But, you know, blotting it up works too. It's just not as, you can't control it as well, I don't think. It's hot. Yeah, the cord might be the end of me. I'm not sure. All right. And maybe if I had it plugged in on the right, maybe it would be better. I just don't have a plug over there. Okay, so that's okay. Let's see what this... That looks better. For sure, that looks better. This one just is really thick with wax. Let's see if we can get some of it off. I mean, I think we've blotted this one. I think this is the 4th page we've used to blot it. There's still some down here. Oh, I was going to tell you, so I got right into it, and I'm just so excited about the whole thing. I hope everybody is having a great day. So yesterday we went to Joey's Hot Wheels Club. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. He gets there early because they have an actual meeting about, you know, what they're going to do in the community and things, and then I come just for the fun. But I met a really sweet lady there. Her and her daughters have started to sell Hot Wheels at the club, and it's just something they just started. They started collecting, and then they kind of got into it, and her name's Becky. Hi, Becky. And Casey and Mackenzie. Hi, Casey. Hi, Mackenzie. Super sweet. So I got to, which is super fun because she was set up right next to, her table was set up next to Joey's, and so I got to yik yak with her. She's very organized. She showed me how she organizes all of the Hot Wheels. It's so awesome. Okay. So I'm just setting these on top of each other. I hope that's okay. All right, let's do the magazine. Those are really my favorites. Okay, so on this one, you have this beautiful bedroom. Oops, glaring. On this one, you have some text and some little vignette things. So my experience in the past has been that the two will kind of melt together because it becomes very, very see-through, which is kind of, I really like that. Okay, so go easy. I like that. It's kind of like vellum. It reminds me a lot of vellum, or not vellum, glassine is what it reminds me of. Okay, so I'm just using a little bit. We'll take a couple of these, but nothing crazy, Jenny. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. Trying to behave about it. Okay. So like I said, when I did it before, I did it by just shaving some candles. Ones that I already had that were in my buffet that I don't use. The candles I don't use. So I just did a little bit of shaving. You could also melt the candle onto here and then use your iron to spread it around if you wanted to, I guess. I'm kind of pressing and moving because I don't want it to kind of collect like it did on the rose paper. I don't want it to get clumpy. So I can see this is going to need a little bit right here. Just going to put a couple down in here. One there. Okay. I'm just pressing down to give like that initial melt, since they're kind of poking up a little bit. Okay. All right. I got to focusing and wasn't talking. Okay. Oh, see, it's a little bit clumpy there. I'll put another one on top of it real quick, because I don't want that. It's really not attractive either, and it doesn't feel good. When it's all nice and melted, you really can't feel it. It's just the paper has this really unique, I mean, you can't feel the wax, but the paper will have this really unique feel to it. But when you have too much wax like what I've done, and then you can feel the wax, that's when it's yuck, I think. Okay, let's see what happens now. once I'm done, I'm going to really clean that iron, because not very often, but occasionally I'll use it for something. Oh no, did I wax those two together? Nope. Okay. I'll use it for something else besides this. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that it's becoming translucent, transparent, where you can see what's on the back side. I'm going to remove this, put it aside, and I'm just going to use this cardboard here, because that might also be contributing to some of that puddling or whatever that's happening. See if that's any better. A little bit better. A little better. It's possible this Country Living magazine may be oh, I know. Let's try a paper that's absorbent and put it over it first. It's possible that this Country Living magazine is just too good of a quality of paper for it to soak through. You know, like my copy paper goes right through it. Let's see, am I got that on right side? Yeah. Oh, this iron. I have to lefty handy it. So even though, you know, we're kind of not getting it right, you know, from the get-go, getting it the way we want it from the get-go, it's still fun. And I'm just going to keep at it until I can figure it out, you know, what to do to help with that. Okay, so that's much better. Much, much better. Now, and this page is a lot different than another page that I did. So in my junk to journal, I did a magazine page, and I mean, it is really thin and crinkly with the wax, but I think it's because this Country Living magazine paper page is just a little bit better quality than the other magazine that I did previous, when I used my you know, just candle wax. See if I can get all that off of there. Okay. How's this one? Is it still clumpy? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's clumpy. Let's put that on there. So it's spring. Spring is coming. Our grandchildren have spring break coming up. Well, this week they're in spring break. So, what are you all doing for spring break? Does anybody have any travel plans or entertaining plans, or taking some time off to be with the kids or grandkids? It's funny, these days kids seem to have, you know, a lot planned. Okay, so I think that one's much better. Much better. It's not completely done here. Let's put a few more, and then we'll look at the other ones and see how they're doing now that they're kind of dried up a little bit. Or, you know, cooled down or whatever. Yeah, I think it's the vanilla melting wax that is causing all of that runoff that I've been having everywhere. So I may have to be really, really restrictive on that. Not use so much. Because it's hard to sop it up with your paper. And of course, you know, like I said, this iron is crazy. Yeah, that's looking good. Good. This one I think I'm gonna do a little bit more. All right, let's put a little bit more on this one, and then we'll look at the other ones. The reason I say that is because once I show you the other ones, I want to clean up before I show you, and I don't want to get it back out after I clean it up, you know. This other candle that I had, it was kind of like a spice, kind of like a fall candle. Man, did it smell good. Every once in a while when I get into stuff that I had, you know, used that candle on, I'm like, woo, that smells good. See how that is spreading? Okay. Okay, I think that's going to be the it. It'll have a little bit of a contrast to it. Let's set it over here. Okay. Whew. That stuff is gooey. Now, what? Oh, so I'll clean this and then I'll take some alcohol to it. Set it over here, out of the way. And I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, good. Nothing on that. A little bit of glue from the cereal box. Okay. All right, let's get this wrapped up before we move on so I don't have beeswax everywhere. Maybe use one of these guys. Okay. Oh, and I want to stick this down in there. But I'm going to just toss these little flakes here because honestly, I just don't want to hold on to them. And can always do some more if I want to, if I decide. So they did have their place. I mean, they definitely cause things to spread quickly. All right, let's look at some of them that are ready to go. So there's that one. Here's this one. One thing I always wonder is if we put them in a journal and it gets, like you leave it in the car and it gets warm, what's going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. I would imagine it would tend to have a little melty on stuff. I love that. Let's see what else we have. This one's great. Okay. I love this one. We didn't do the whole thing, and I think I kind of like it that way. Okay. And then what did we do? We did this one. And we did this one. I thought that one was going to be a little bit more transparent. And these are already ready to, they're already cooled down. So we did that one. And this one. It's interesting because the other pages I've done, like it literally made them see-through pages, see-through and with a print on it. So it's very interesting the type of paper used. And then here's my Amazon packing paper, which honestly, I think paper-wise turned out the best. It is, look at how you can see right through it. It's great. All right, everybody. Well, gosh, thanks for hanging with me and sticking it out with me. If you have any ideas or you have any what we call best practices, you know, that you use to make it successful, let me know because I'm interested. And what I typically do is I shoot from the hip and then I go back and watch other people's channels. I know it's backwards. I need to do it the opposite. So I'll probably go and see what other people are doing. But anyways, thanks a lot for joining and let me know what you think. And don't forget, we pray blessings over you and we want you to know you're so loved. So we'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.